Okay, hi. I'm just playing. This was my first attempt with the Stampin' Up ink to do a galaxy sky, and it turned out really nice. I'm going to try it again, see how I did it, because it was just playing. So there's a close-up. And the colors I used... oh, excuse me. Colors I used was Midnight Muse, and also I seen on a Stampin' Up video on YouTube they use Night of Navy also, so that one you could also use. I have Tempting Turquoise, I have Blackberry Bliss, and I have Lost Lagoon, and I think she used, instead of Blackberry Bliss, I think she used Razzleberry, Rich Razzleberry, yeah. So this is the Rich Razzleberry. So you could probably use that one too. And there's the Night of Navy. And I'm also probably guessing, to get these effects, you could throw in some eggplant. But I'm just going to use the ones I had already used. So I'm going to remove the other ones and just stick with the colors I had used, just to see if I can recreate this again. So all I did was, I basically imitated the girl in the video, but of course she made it look a lot more easier because I had to play around with it. I started off with some Lost Lagoon. This stuff is really dark when it goes on. It doesn't look dark like here, but when you're actually sponging it on, it does. The only thing I'm doing different is this was just regular white cardstock from Michaels, the thin stuff, not the thicker stuff. But this time I'm going to use the thin, but the shimmery one. It's the shimmer. It's got a gold shimmer in it. I'm going to see if this makes another, if it doesn't, like if it has more of a shimmery effect to the sky. So all I did is I started at the bottom, and I just did like the Tim Holtz inks. You just kind of go in a circle motion off the paper into a circle. And then I brought it all the way across. I'm sorry if you guys can't see very well, but I don't have a system set up. I've got my phone MacGyvered on some actual Tim Holtz case ink. And I just kind of, see how I'm doing that? I'm just bringing, and they blend beautifully. I never even thought to use my Stampin' Up inks, like distress inks. And I think it's the new formula, because I sold all my old pads and bought all the new ones. And they're a lot wetter, I find. And the ink is a lot thicker. And you can actually, I found that you can clear emboss with these inks if you move fast. Okay, so... whoops, wrong thing I want to pick up. So I got that base. And then the next thing I did was I took my Blackberry Bliss and I did the other end. So I turned it around, and you get very dirty doing this, see? So I'm going to pick up some of the Blackberry, and then I'm going to do the same thing off the mat. And this one streaks a bit. I don't know why. The other one doesn't seem to streak as much. And I'm going to get all the edges like this. See how I keep the middle white? And then I'm going to try to get some of it off on the edge. And then I'm going to go in very lightly into the middle to put color in, but it's very soft. And then a little bit over I'm so bad. Lagoon. Lost Lagoon, I think is what it is. Oh. I got all the... Oh, yeah. Lost Lagoon. Oh, I need a wipe. I'm covered. That's my problem. I just play and play, and then after I play, I create something with what I've made. Okay, so now that I've got this, so it's a lot lighter in the middle, and then got the Lost Lagoon and then darker at the top. Then I went and took my Midnight Muse. And where is my sponge for that one? I don't know which one I had earlier. I think it's this one. And then I soak up some ink on that one. And then I'm going to start at the top on the berry. Again, sponge off the edge. I don't know. I think that has black in it. And then I bring it down. And I kind of go into the middle. It's making lots of streaks compared to before. I'll really soak this up in ink. I gotta actually put some re-inker on these guys. Let's see if I can blend those streaks. Kind of went, and I'm going back over, leaving a little bit of a lighter spot in the middle. And then just barely going over the bottom part. And just kind of going on the edges like that. Then I'm going back with my pink purplish color, my berry color, and back over again, another layer, and then blending, 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 always in a circle motion, and then back into my little lighter area, and then along the edges of the bottom of the blue. And then I am going to not use my Lagoon, but I'm going to use the Tempting Turquoise to brighten it up a bit now. Oh, these things are so hard to open. And I don't know which one I had. Did I use this one, I think. And then this one will give it kind of like a highlight, I find. So I go over it. Go over it again. And it really highlights it. See? And then I'm going to bring it up a bit. I'm going to take some off the edge. And then bring it up a bit. Kind of go around the pink in all over. But just so ever slight. Like, not, I don't want to, just to say there's a little bit of turquoise over there. And then I kind of go over the whole thing. Now I'm going to go back to my dark blue. My Midnight Muse. Grab some ink. And now I'm going to go all around the edges. And I'm putting quite a bit of pressure. And actually, you know what, guys? I really like the look of the shimmer paper. It really gives it a nice shimmer. And then I'm going to go over the whole thing, but just to say I'm holding lightly. And now I'm going to go back with the pink, and I'm not even going to ink up. I'm just going to go back over with the pink and go over the whole thing again. And then again, I'm going to go back with my Tempting Turquoise and brighten up that middle part, just kind of in the center of it. Give it a little highlight to make it highlighted. And now that's the finish. See how it shimmers? So now the trick to the galaxy part, which you see here, is water. All I do is I take my mister and a bunch of Kleenex. I'm really messy, guys. Sorry. And then I spray actually pretty high up. And I give a couple spritz, and you can see the paper curl up. And then I dab it off right away. And you get all these little tiny, tiny, bitty speckles in there. It's probably hard to see. So now I am going to take the thing off, and I'm going to just splatter big blobs of water. And I'm going to take my paper, my Kleenex, and I ran out of paper towel. I got to go to the grocery store and get some, so I've just been using Kleenex. Paper towel works better because it's a little thicker, and your Kleenex doesn't get all yeeky like Kleenex. So now you got your bigger blobs like that. And I find the purple side needs a little bit more of the little speckles. So I'm going to block off that side and kind of give it a spray. I'm just going to let it sit for just a few seconds. And now I'm going to dab off. Voila! See? Okay, so now for the stars. I know this is discontinued. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued. I haven't looked in the catalog in a while. But it's Frost ink. And I'm sure there's other companies that have something similar to this. But it's just a liquid ink that is shimmery that you could probably just use. I have done before is the pearl powders there. What are they called? I can't remember. And then I just used a little bit of white gesso, watered down gesso, and added the pearl powder to it and used that also. So I've got my paintbrush and my jar of water here. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this out, put it on my craft mat over here. You can't see that. Just a tiny bit, just one paintbrush. See if I can lift that up. See, I just have a blob, just a blob on my craft mat. And then I take some water and I just give it a 1 or 2 spritz of water, mix it all up so that it's kind of watered down so it's not too thick and it's easier for splattering. So then I just take my brush and I just tap it. And the closer you are, the bigger your splatters. So then if I want tinier ones, I get up higher. And you can manipulate some too. You can get really close into one little area. And there, I like that. And voila, there is my galaxy. Can you see that without the glare? Okay, so let me get closer. But I like it on the shimmery. So here's the shimmery one and here's the matte one. This one is not as dark as this one, I think. But it's also not quite dry yet. I have to dry. What I usually do is I take a Kleenex, and before I splattered with the other one that I did, when I was all done,